Hope Channel, changing lives.
Good evening, my wonderful viewers. It's another evening for us to interact on Family Life on Hope TV. Today we are here on your set to come and talk about another issue concerning the COVID-19. So today we are going to consider COVID-19 and then the reopening of the school. My name is Mrs. Betty Adam. I have with me two guests, one from the medical side, one from the school side. We just want to see how the reopening of the school has been, and then the true nature of the COVID-19 that we are having in this country, to see how best family can take decision. In fact, today we are all in our nose mask because everybody wants to protect him or herself. So I want you to meet my guest for today. I have with me Dr. Kofi Boni, who is a senior research fellow at University of Ghana, Nunguchi Memorial Institute, and he's a virologist. And then I have Mr. Joram from Laboni SDHS.
Yeah.
You are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And Doug, you are welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, and how are you too?
I'm also fine. Yes, today we are on Family Life, my dear viewer. I just want us to take just a second and commit our country, Ghana, into the hands of the Almighty God, because we are not in normal times. Our cases are rising. It takes only the hand of the unknown to deal with issues that are unknown. So I invite you to bow with me as we go to the Almighty God for His protection. Please, just a short prayer. Divine Father, we thank you this evening for giving us opportunity to interact once again on your channel you have given to us, to transform, to educate, and to inform families. This evening, we are so grateful. It is just by grace that we are alive. It takes only your hand, oh God, to protect. In this COVID-19 situation, if you have offered us a life again, then we say glory be to you. We commit the entire country, Ghana, into your hands. The situation is getting worse. But we believe in the hand that delivered the Israelites from the hands of the Egyptians and was able to open the Red Sea onto dry land for them to pass through. That those same hands will see families through this COVID-19 period in 2021. And we shall see the end of 2021 because Christ is going to be with us. Today, be with us as we come to discuss. Give us the voice to talk with your friends, with your children, so we'll be able to know the seriousness of those diseases and be able to take precautive measures. So with your spirit, with your angels, and with you by our side, we'll be able to overcome. Thank you for your presence in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, so I still welcome you once again. We are on Family Life. As I told you, my name is Mrs. Betty Adam, and I have my two guests with me. So I will just open up the floor for them to give us the information that they have. We'll begin from the researcher from Nunguchi. We just want him to let us understand the seriousness of the disease, the statistics, the nature, the new variant we are talking about. What is it? And how we will be able to stay safe. So, Doug,
yes.
But then, before you go on, how was your day?
My day, well, has been good, and we've been managing quite well.
Okay.
For some time now, because cases, both samples that are going to be worked on, and samples that we have been receiving, and also people traveling that needs to be tested before they go. They've all gone up. So Noguchi, those who are in the middle of the testing are doing a lot of work, and which I am involved. So for some time now, it has not been very easy. We have been working, just to make sure that we save our motherland and also our maker, and we provide service for our maker. So that's what we're doing.
May the Lord help you.
Thank you.
But then we want to understand something. You said you were a senior research fellow.
Right.
Even when you talk about a research fellow, who is he?
Yeah, so I mean, it's part of the way we categorize it. So every research fellow has an area of specialty or area of study or area that he or she does his research. So I am into virology, so my area is basically on viruses of medical importance. And I'm doing what we call the emerging and re-emerging viral infections.
Oh, okay.
Can talk the one that we can mostly remember is what is called Ebola and all that. But you know, the COVID is also a viral infection. So I was not directly working under COVID, but because of the volume of work, the department that I belong to handles this. So we have been drafted into helping to work on COVID. So my field is on emerging and re-emerging infectious viral diseases, but now I'm doing COVID work as well because the need has arisen for us to
so in your line of study and practice, did you ever anticipate this kind of virus? Yes,
so you know, for viruses, we talk about emerging or re-emerging. Over the years, or so many years past, we have been having viruses causing outbreaks. Outbreaks that can lead to pandemics. In other words, we mean pandemics. It's not only happening in your country, it's gone across borders. The same virus is causing havoc in other countries, so across the world or in the global sphere. So we call it the pandemics. It's been like that for years. We started having outbreaks of viruses so many years back. In fact, if you have an idea or if you have read about bubonic plague, these are viral infections. Even yellow fever started years back. Noguchi is Noguchi because it's an institute built around somebody who came to work on yellow fever in Ghana and he died to the yellow fever. So Noguchi Memorial, in memory of that person. So we have been having viral infections causing outbreaks in the world. Not recently. We've been having it years back. Recently we had Ebola. You know, it didn't spread to so many countries like COVID. It is because of the mode of transmission. Yeah, but we always anticipate that we are going to have this because of the way we are living now. Now, human beings are veering into areas where it used to be forested. It used to be for animals. So most of these viruses, we call them zoonotic. They move from animals into humans, and they cause these problems for us. In animals, they don't cause disease. But the moment they move from the species barrier, from animals to humans, they become very virulent or pathogenic, and they cause this disease. So because we are going, the urbanization is making us enter into areas that we were not there before. So we are going to be seeing some of these things from time to time.
Oh, not that we are going to end it with this. We are bringing a different
thing. So basically, you don't learn to anticipate. Because of our actions and inactions, because of what we are doing now, urbanization. So we are going into areas that we never used to inhabit, areas that were reserved for animals. So now we are now getting some of these viruses from the animals into us, and they are causing some of these problems.
So it means we should anticipate another emerging. We are not saying it so, but now that you are saying
the possibility is there.
Okay. Now let's come to the COVID issue.
Right.
You know, in 2020 we had COVID-19, but this very January, we are hearing of new variants. So we just want you to take us through. In fact, I'm giving the platform for you. Educate us on it and its own, the differences that are coming, how dangerous it is, and those kind of things. So, Doc.
You know, every organism, even human beings, we want to survive. So we do things that will help us to survive. That is how animals too are. Viruses are actually particles. A virus cannot grow outside a living cell. It has to be inside a living cell. So viruses that go into our bodies, they grow from there, and they grow in order to survive. The way they are small, the only way they can survive is to produce their kind in larger numbers. That is the only way they can survive, because the body will clear some, and there will some that will remain. So they produce their kind in larger numbers, and by so doing, they grow very fast. And you know, if you do things very fast, you are prone to making mistakes. So viruses, in an attempt to replicate or grow in larger quantities, they make mistakes. They make mistakes in their genetic makeup.
Okay.
That is what it is. Everybody has got genes that will make you. So if the virus is growing very fast, they make mistakes in their genetic makeup. So when you make mistakes in that genetic makeup, a new virus will be formed.
Wow.
You understand? So because of the different genetic makeup, it will be slightly different from the previous one. So if a new one is formed, the new one can now be friendly or can be unfriendly, depending on the genes that is making it. So if you are not fortunate, it will be unfriendly.
Okay.
That is why it will cause maybe more severe disease
than the first one.
But it can also be very mild. Because of the genetic, it can be something that is harmless. It's not causing disease like where it came from.
Okay.
So the variant that they are talking about, the old one was there because of the replication, the growth pattern. Now we are forming new ones that there has been changes in the genetic makeup.
Okay.
So that is what the new variant is. A variant because the genetic makeup is slightly different from the previous one. And this one, unfortunately for us, the new variant is causing more severe disease. It spreads faster. The previous one, yes, we can have it spreading. But this new one, it spreads faster. That means it is easy for people to get it than the previous one. In fact, we have done some research recently. We call something sequencing. This genetic makeup I'm talking about, we have to look into it to see what is there. So the sequencing now tells us that within a matter of 3 weeks, the number of people who have got the new variant are more than about 3 months ago. And you know, if you look at the statistics, somewhere from October, November, and the early part of December, we're having declining number of cases. Then all of a sudden it started going up. That is where we have the introduction of the new variant.
Okay.
So now more people are getting it. And unfortunately, the disease that it causes is also severe.
So the new one, though it's multiplying fast, it's spreading fast, and it's causing severe
disease. In other words,
than the first one.
Yes. In other words, if you get it, the symptoms that you will get, it will be the normal symptoms, but you have more pains than if you're having headache, if you're having rhinorrhea, I mean congestion, and also sore throat, and you feel pains more than what we used to.
Okay.
So you have more severe, and unfortunately, it kills more than the ones that we have. So if you look at the statistics, more people are dying now. We have had more fatal cases than the 3 months that I talked about. October, November, December. It got to a point people thought that it was going down. I mean, we were just getting out of the woods, but not now. You have started having the rise in number of cases again. So that is what the new variant, that is the genesis, that is how we get the new variant. So because of the growth pattern, it's growing very fast. So in making mistakes in the genetic makeup. And because of the mistakes, a new one, not totally new, but the genetic makeup is new. So it's giving us some proteins that is causing more diseases than the previous one. So that is what we call the new variant. And we have the UK new variant because they isolated it first. You see, for maybe in Ghana, we don't know when we had it. It could have been here a long time, but they saw it first.
Okay.
We have the South African new variant. We have even the Tokyo new variant.
Tokyo
And the
has
Brazil
joined.
one. So now we have about 4 or 5.
4.
All these are changes. And these,
Please, so they are all different.
they are all different, slightly different from the initial, the original one. But they are all they are all what is called the coronavirus. They are causing the same, but they are slightly different. And they have different causations. So that means some is spreading faster, some give severe disease, and some are mild. Maybe they don't cause so much disease. But the important thing you have to note is that because of travel, international travel, we have in our midst all these viruses circulating. So if you go to a community,
Brazil, you will bring Brazil one.
because people are traveling, people are coming to the country, going out and all that. So because of international travel, we have all these things in our midst. Yes, airports, somebody say, why? They are testing at airport. Why are we not detecting it? We have what we call the window period. Somebody will get the virus today, maybe exposed. That is somebody sneezes in where you are. The person is infected. You pick the virus because it will be in the air. This is a respiratory. You pick it, so you have become exposed. But you will not develop disease immediately. Maybe today that you paid the virus, you are traveling. So you went to the airport, they did a test, you were negative because the virus has not grown enough for them to detect it. So now you go into the other country, then you start having disease. Then you also spread what you picked from here. So that's what called international travel. That's what it does. So you now also go and leave it there, then you continue. So that is how we get it. And because it's respiratory, it's easy for others to pick it.
Okay.
That's why they advise, wear your nose mask, wash your hand, make sure that you socially distance. All those things are very important for us to limit the spread of this.
But let me just bring you back a little. You've explained how the variants are, but I really want to find out, how did it come about? Why did they decide to multiply a different one? Because you said there was a mistake, but how?
That's why I'm saying that they want to survive. You see, every human being wants to. I can give you an example. Let's even bring mosquitoes.
Okay.
Let me start from the mosquitoes. If you buy a mosquito spray them. Sometimes they will fall. After some time, they will get up again. Why? Because they have developed resistance to what you are using. So they keep changing what we use to kill them. But they also have to develop strategies or mechanisms to survive. Every animal does that. So these viruses, what they are doing is they are growing. Look, the body has a mechanism to clear viruses. So when they don't grow in those proportions, the body will clear all of them. So they grow in larger proportions, and sometimes they overwhelm the body's activities to clear them. That is where we can get disease. So when they get disease, when they grow in that proportion, they destroy the cells that they inhabit. But you see, the act of growing very fast make you make mistakes.
Okay.
So that is where the variant will come in.
We have gotten that part. Now let's come to the point where they have entered the body. All right. We are now hearing of a lot of things that you need to do from your point, because you are now a virologist. We know you know more than the inhaling. Some I learned. I went to a salon. Somebody said, "Oh, a friend brought an inhaler from Egypt. It's like mint oil. When you put it in your water, and you inhale all these myths." How do you make up with the virus? You
know, every virus grows at some point of the body, but some they grow every part. We call this respiratory virus because it can only grow in the respiratory tract, the nose, the mouth, and somewhere down here. So that is where, when they get into your body, that is where they go and they multiply. That is why you start having sore throat. You develop nasal congestion. But the activities will now get you fever, and the other complications will get you. So when somebody is inhaling, because the virus growth is concentrated in that respiratory tract, it's trying to introduce something that can clear. When they say they boil water, put in, and you see, you are inhaling the steam. What viruses don't like is heat.
Okay.
So you inactivate them. So inhale steam. Steam is almost of 100 degrees Celsius. A virus can survive about 57 degrees Celsius. So that means if you're able to inhale the steam, you try to inactivate some of them. So it is not like they are intentional or they have something behind it. It's the act of inhaling the steam that is going to clear some of the virus. They are growing, so you clear some of them. That is when they start coming. People do that, someone say prophylaxis. It's not had it, but he's trying to do this to prevent himself from getting this. Yes, you can do that. They take so many things, different concoctions people are drinking now. But the point is, you have to develop your immune system.
Okay. So it's not the concoction.
No, I don't believe that. I've not taken any of those things before.
Okay.
Not had the virus. Eat well, especially more fruit, vegetables, more fluids, water, drink water, and do some exercises. Make sure that your immune system is strong enough. You see, the body, some viruses cannot be cleared by medication, including COVID. We don't have any medicine that when you take it will kill the virus. When you are sick and you go to the hospital with COVID, they manage the conditions, the symptoms. So we call it supportive treatment. Okay. They are not killing the virus. They are, maybe you have headache, they will give you medicine to take over it. You are coughing, they will give you a cough mixture. So they will do that for your body to become strong. And the body itself will fight the virus. So well, if you know that, then you eat well, you do exercises, you do what you have to do, so that you improve or you boost your immune system. Okay.
We will come to Headmaster, but before then we'll go for a quick break. But I want you to just highlight on this from your point of from your virology point of view. Is there any specific foods that when you eat, okay, it can let the virus multiply fast?
Oh, rather let the virus multiply fast.
Yes, are there some foods that helps the activity of the virus?
Oh, no. I mean, a virus into your body, the body will see it as an outsider, an intruder. So you try to get it out. So rather, when you eat to become strong.
So there are no food that support the growth of the virus?
No.
Okay.
No, you don't.
So because some people were saying we should stop taking milk, you should stop taking sugar and the rest.
People have got, I mean, you know, when we talk about underlying health conditions, you know, our elderly, most of them will have, some are hypertensive, some are diabetic, and those are, we call them underlying health conditions. Okay. You see, those ones, when you have them, it more or less compromises your health, your immune system. Okay. So you are already weakened. So when we get some of these infections, then it's difficult for the body to fight it. So the virus can grow and overwhelm the body. That is why we say the elderly are vulnerable. But it's not for anything. So when they are talking about sugar, and when you eat those things, you are diabetic and all that, you know, you are not helping yourself. Okay. So maybe that is where the idea is coming from.
Okay. So let me come to my headmaster. How are you?
God's grace.
Yes. Yeah, but then the first question I want to ask, when you heard that the schools were reopening, what came to mind?
Well, we were anticipating it. You know, I'm in the private sector, and I can say that the most hit of this COVID is the private schools. Oh, okay. Because we were completely closed down, no salary. In fact, there were a lot of agitations of reopening, especially when we realized that the COVID has, you know, subsided. we believe we could contain it, and so we're all anticipating the reopening.
Okay.
So when the government announced the reopening, well, we welcomed it all right, and we still thought we could manage it, yes, and we are trying.
Wow. So how is the trying like? So let me, practically, what were some of the measures you put in place in receiving the students?
Yes, you know, we are teachers and we have the doctors around to guide us as to what to do.
Okay.
So even before the lockdown, we were putting those measures in place. For instance, we were told, like Doctor is saying, we needed to wash our hands, wear the nose mask, observe the social distancing, no hugging, and all those protocols. So we started, you know, I told you we are in the private sector. And so we, Laboni SDA Church School, let me be specific.
Yeah.
Yes, Laboni SDA Church School started providing ourselves with all these PPEs.
Okay.
In fact, we purchased the thermometer gun. And even before the COVID, we had our Veronica buckets, quite a lot of them, because we believed in the hand washing and all those things. So we had the Veronica buckets. The hand sanitizers too, we purchased a lot in gallons. So we had even already prepared before the lockdown. So during the lockdown, if you remember, the Form 3s were asked to come to complete. They had to write their BC, and all those protocols were given to us. In fact, we had a course where we attended, and then we needed to go through all these protocols. So seriously, once we were hit much, I'm talking about the private sector, we are very, 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 very cautious, and we want to do what is right.
So that you don't go on.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So I can assure you we are fully prepared. In my school, formally, when parents are bringing their children, you enter, the cars will enter, drop the children, and then they go out of it. But because of the COVID, now all the cars, you know, the children alight at the gate, pass through the small gate, go through the protocols of checking the temperature, hand washing before you even get to the classroom.
So does then it means it takes time?
Not really, because we have about 4 or 5 security personnel who are doing that. So, and you know, they come as and when they check, the Veronica buckets are there a lot. So they go do the hand washing with the hand sanitizing before going to the classroom. So it isn't too much of a work and not causing any delays. No.
Okay. So when you listen to our sister stations and other things, for the public schools, we are hearing a whole lot of issues. But let me come to you as a private enterprise. What has been your observation in terms of the students? The attitude towards the observance of the COVID-19 protocol, the social distancing, their demeanor, even coming to school and then going out. Your observations? Yeah,
it will surprise you. I see the children even happy coming to school.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they've stayed home for quite too long and they were eager to come and meet friends and so on. However, the observance is something we need to check. In fact, we've given the children enough education. And I tell you, the children know a lot about the COVID. If nothing at all, the observance of the protocols, they know they shouldn't hug, they shouldn't talk face to face, hand washing, and then sanitizing of the hand, and all that. They are aware of it. But once a while, you know children.
Yes.
You see children still playing, and so the teachers have been alerted, including security men and then all the non-teaching staff. In fact, we've empowered them that they are all part of the security in terms of the observance of the protocols. So they will have to check if they see any child doing otherwise. They have to correct the child and make sure the child is doing the right thing.
Do you feed in the school?
Yes,
or the
we
children
do.
bring their how do you manage
we have
the
the canteen.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have our canteen staff. So before reopening, we met with the parents and gave them all that they need to do, including dropping their children at the gate, including what they have to provide for the children, that every child should have his own hand sanitizer. Every child should have at least 1 or 2 spare nose masks, and so on and so forth. So we gave the parents all that they need to know. So when the children come, what we do is that we make sure they are following the protocols.
Do you check to see whether they have all the PPEs in their bag before they enter?
Not really, but in fact, the school itself has the PPEs there. We make sure every child, for that one, even if you don't have it, you not even enter in the first place, especially the nose mask. So I normally tell them, we have a lot of protocols we need to observe. But the first thing that everybody or anybody at all will notice whether you are following the protocols or not is the nose mask.
So is there a way that you've seen some of the students lower, or do you allow them to lower?
No, we don't. But seriously, when we met with the parents, that question came up. That even some adults are finding it difficult wearing this for 1-2 hours straight. And he said, yes, that is true. So what we do is that in the classroom, when the teacher is teaching, and then the teacher is wearing it, one thing that came up was that some of those sitting behind say they find it difficult hearing what the teacher is saying. So we said that, okay, then when the teacher is teaching, he can bring it down so that it will be he will be audible. But then the children must wear it, especially when the teacher is there.
Very good. There is a virologist here. Let's get to doctor with this point. Doctor, is that safe?
I see, people call it nose mask. It's a face mask, so it has to cover both your nose and your mouth.
Okay.
And the moment you start touch, people don't even know how to remove it properly. People hold them. It's wrong.
Yes,
very, very wrong. If you want to remove it, you hold it from here. You take it off. And it is advisable that you wear it and wear it properly all the time. Yes, I know our headmaster has got a point there that sometimes when you are wearing it and you talk, people don't hear. If it is possible, let's provide them with microphones. That will be regularly disinfected. And let's get them to wear it. Yeah, because there is evidence, or there is scientific evidence, that if you wear these things, we try to limit the spread. It's not for nothing that we have been advised to be wearing it. It's very important. So if a teacher is standing there...
The teacher is standing far from the students in front of the blackboard.
Yes, I know. But we call something droplets.
Okay.
You see, when we talk, things come out. You don't, some of them you don't see them. It's like just sneezing. Something comes out, you don't see it. Assuming the teacher is talking, he has removed the nose mask and he sneezes. Even if he doesn't even sneeze, the droplet that comes out, maybe he's picking, maybe because his hand but his hand is touching all the things there. So whatever you have, either coming out of your mouth or in your palm, you are holding things there.
You may move to one student.
You move because a teacher usually goes through the decks, and when you are sitting, just come around, ask people questions and all that. So advisably, just wear it. If you move it and your hand is going up and down, you'll be touching things, or droplets will come out. It will drop on surfaces. The moment people are infected, but they don't show signs. They don't show symptoms, but they can spread the virus. So you do that, people touch those surfaces. Yes, we have been advised to use hand sanitizers and washing, but it can be a very small, marginal time. You touch it and unknowingly or unconsciously, you put your fingers into your nostrils, or even your back of your eye is itching you. This is an opening. You have introduced the virus there, introduced the particle that you pick. This goes through the fluids and gets to where they want to get to, and they start causing you problems. So you see, because we do things unconsciously, that's why I say always hold it, wear the mask. Then let's try to remove and wear it properly. If you want to adjust it, don't hold the front and do it like that. This is wrong. Try to hold the back and adjust it properly. Don't be touching the front, because the moment you do that, whatever has been trapped up here, you pick them up. If you don't wash your hand regularly or frequently, you can always introduce.
Okay, so Head, this is what we are going to do. Now that Doc is here, he is a virologist. He has studied, know the behavior and how the virus spread. So we are going to compare the real, we don't want the unimagined, the real situation. This is how we are doing it. Is it the best way? Then Doc will give us advice, so that right from here, when we get to our schools, things that we thought it was good, from their point of view, we just go there and then make corrections, so at least the teachers, the pupils will all be safe. And so, my dear viewer, we are going for a short break. When we come back, we are going to go through the best practices, because we don't want a situation where mothers and fathers will try to preserve themselves, but because of a little negligence in the public, students will bring the disease home, and then the entire family will be affected. So don't go away. Stay tuned, and we will ride back. Doctor is here to help us. Our headmaster is also here to tell us exactly what is happening, and then we have best practices. We will be right back.
Yesu pesoncho ade na wotwentwe no next. It is either say nyame oni yen ebo mpu ni mpu a either so yede bay or kyerɛ yen nyansa ana sa yen yentim no ye nase. The devil's intention was to disgrace Christ, but God's intention was to fix a broken relationship. Hallelujah. Ini mo hawa wo ini mo abeni dia wudi. But I did back when I mean, I'm person with the mouth. So, be in your meal. I should be bell. About the issue.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, as a soldier of the cross, you must take instructions from your commander-in-chief. You must live the way he wants to live his life. For the next 13 weeks, we'll go through the series, In His Identity I Stand. By the end of the series, we will identify who God's people are, what qualifies them to be his people, and the privileges of being God's people.
Soldier of the Cross, showing this and every Sunday at 7:30 p.m.
You are welcome, my dear viewer. You are still watching Family Life on Hope TV. I am Mrs. Betty Adom. We are discussing school reopening and the COVID-19. Lucky for us, we have Dr. Bonnie from Nunguchi Memorial Institute, a senior research fellow here, to help us understand the dynamism, how the virus behaves. Now we are moving on into a situation, practical situation happening in our school, so that we can get the expert view as to how we will be able to handle it. Are the practices we are practicing the best way? If not, how should we do it? So doctor will help us. Our headmaster is also here to help us to understand some of the practices. Then we seek expert view. So the general public or the teachers, schools will also know that, oh, these practices that I'm practicing, I thought it's good helping the student, but in other way, from the expert point of view, I think I have to change. So this is the main reason why we are here from the break, for us to interact. And so you are welcome. Your messages are welcome. Let's hear from you what you think. So you can send your message to this WhatsApp line 055-968-0066. You can also call from the same line. Let's hear from you, your point of view. What have you observed in our schools, within your community? What are the questions that you have for our experts, so that you'll be able to help us ease our anxiety and tension? So back to Headmaster, you were explaining certain practices. I think Doctor helped us. Oh, I have hold it wrong here. It's something, the new normal, we'll try to get used to it. So let's continue.
So with our children, we always tell them they have to wear.
Yes.
But then when the teacher is wearing it, you know, he doesn't put it off all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, when he wants to just stress a point, that is why we were saying. But then we told the children that when they are stressed up and then sitting down, whilst the teacher is just in front of the board, they can just lower it a bit. So
when
that
the
they can,
students are stressed up.
yes.
No, I won't let you continue. Dog, come in here for us. I'm in the class. We have socially distanced. We are not talking. I hope we are tired of the nose mask. Can we lower it down?
Because they would have worn it for some 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah, some people, you know, depending on the nose mask, the tie, yeah, sometimes it makes them feel very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Okay, so sometimes they remove it. The lowering it is what I don't really, because they put it under their chin, and it's not good enough, because there you can even pick so many things. It's going up and down. So if you are tired and nobody is talking, you just take it, hold it a little while, then put it back there.
You should hold it. You shouldn't put it on the table.
You pick it out. Me, sometimes if I just do it like that. I don't even take it off, because it's the back of my ears, so I just bring it out there. I don't take it out. It's only when I am coming to put something in my mouth, eat, I'll sit somewhere, take it out, wash my hands, and after that I'll wear my nose mask again. You see, yes, depending on the nose mask, sometimes it gets very uncomfortable after wearing for a long time. So yes, people take, but you have to social distance. You have to wash your hands. You have to make sure that at the time you are not in a crowded area where people are talking, singing, and all that, so that there's not any kind of spread. I mean, of the let's say movement, something that's possibly moving up the virus out there. So yes, people get tired of wearing it, they remove it, but move it in a way or in an area where we don't have crowded, it's not crowded, we don't have so many people there that are talking and all that.
But my point still comes in the classroom situation. What about the possibility, can there be the possibility that unconsciously a child can sneeze or cough while they have lowered the nose?
Yes.
So
no, excuse me, lowering doesn't mean it should be there for, because we've told them they have to be conscious of it. So lowering is just to take in some, you know, fresh air or breathe well for just some 1 minute, and then put it on.
Can it be that after maybe 2 hours we run a little, let's say, shift, this class can move out of the classroom, space out a little, lower the nose mask, get about fresh air for 5 minutes and go back, and another class? Dog, that's...
I thought when I heard the reopening, I heard they came out with some of these, and I heard them saying that one day they will not stay in the class for a very long time. There will be this intermittent breaks. They will go out. So I heard something like that. I've not been there. My children are in university basic school, and they have yet still not gone to school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've not seen or heard. But that is what I heard that was going to be done. So I don't know whether it's been done. Yeah, sometimes it gets really uncomfortable wearing this for a long time. So yes, you can go out there, get some fresh air, especially in areas where we don't have crowded people. I mean, it's not crowded. It's
so it shouldn't be in the classroom. It should be outside when they want to go.
Yes. Okay. So outside and very airy.
Okay.
Place that we have a lot of ventilation, not crowded ventilation. Then you just relax, take it off for a while, maybe take in some fresh air, then wear it again. But you know, it's the nose, the mask wearing is not the only protocol that you have to observe.
Okay.
So you have washing of hands, social. So it is not one thing that you have to do. You have to do all in unison. Yes. So if you have even taken off the mask and making sure that you wash your hands regularly, and all that, it's because it's your fingers that will pick something that you introduce. Mostly because we talk about droplets. So it's on the surfaces, you pick it. If somebody has not sneezed or coughed directly into your face, it is on the surfaces that you pick. So washing hands regularly is a very good intervention.
Okay.
Very, very good intervention. Yeah. So yes, you have removed the mask. You are in an airy place. Wash your hands.
Okay. I think Head wanted to say something about this situation. Okay.
Yes. You see, in the classrooms, we really observe the social distancing. I remember when the GH3s and 2s came during the period. My school, for instance, we had over 70 candidates, and we had 2 classes.
Okay.
But then, because of the social distances, we had 3, we divided into 3 classrooms, so that we can have less than the normal 30 in a class. That is the...
Okay.
In my school, for instance, we are getting a lot of admissions. But I tell you, because of the social distancing issue, we are rejecting them. Because when we reach the 30 limit, we don't want to take any. So in the classroom, they are spaced out enough so that even if, like Doc is saying, we have to go out in an airy place to, you see, that one will be a bit difficult, seriously, because in the school, how long, we do have breaks, like he was trying to say, we have break times. So during the break time, the children will eat. And the protocol is that you stay at where you are. You don't go out mingling, making, So you stay at where you are and eat. During eating, definitely you remove it. So we were saying that during the normal classes, when you've worn it for a long time, then maybe you just lower it a bit, take in some fresh air, and then put it back.
Okay.
You see, so that is
like just 1 minute
exactly,
or 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we just want them to be conscious of the wearing. But certainly with children, there's no way out. You get 1 or 2 stubborn ones who will be. But because we have, we've assigned every staff member, including the non-teaching staff, to be policemen towards the observance. It's moving on well.
Okay. I think because of our time, we will rush a little. For Head, are you anticipating any challenge? Or do you have a challenge in this period, managing the children, the parents, and the rest?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. You know, the only thing is that children, I remember recently, one children, that's class 1 or 2, somebody told somebody, this girl has COVID. And they started making mockery. And so we had to come in to, you know, stabilize the situation. So that is, but then some parents too must observe their children.
Very good.
Sometimes the children come to school and fall sick. We call the parents, they come for the children. Then, oh, in the morning he was, but we gave him some medicine and we thought it was okay. No, we are saying that even when the nail is aching, don't let him come.
Okay.
The slightest sense of ailment, any form of ailment, let the child stay at home. Do you see? Yes, and that is one thing we want the parents. I think the parents are fed up with their children, with them in the house, so they really want them to come to school.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right, but they should make sure the children are healthy.
Okay.
So that they don't bring the children to school when they are sick.
Okay. Yeah. So from your observation, is there any, apart from the parents letting the children stay at home when they are sick, from all that you've gathered for this 2 weeks, is there anything that you think parents should know about their children?
Well, like I told you, Labonia's Day, for instance, we held a PTA meeting before the reopening. When the announcement came, we called it.
But now that you have reopened, observing the behavior of the students and others, is there something that you think to the general public, don't let us limit it to your school, but is there anything that you think parents should really know, take notice of, and then act on it?
Yes, you see, the parents should be in contact with the teachers,
Okay.
very often, trying to find out what is happening, how the children are, observing it. So if the parents are in contact with the school, the teachers, the heads, I think that will help us, because it's the two coming together to take care of the child.
So now there should be constant communication about the teachers and this. Now with your teachers, have you noticed any anxiety or something for this past 2 weeks? Any evaluation on how they are handling the student, the anxiety level psychologically and other? How do you see it?
Yeah, the teachers are okay because they are grown-ups, and we met as a staff after meeting as staff before even the PTA. So with the staff, we met, and like I told you from the beginning, we were the most hit. And so we want to do things that will prevent any form of lockdown again. So all the teachers are very much alert and are trying as much as possible to do what is right, so that we will not encounter any problems. And so the teachers are focused, and we are trying our best to control. We are doing our parts. We are controlling the children to do their parts.
In your school, have you recorded a situation where parents have decided not to send their child to school? Or they are all in school?
They are all in school, as far as we
Any behavior from the parent that you think is not good? Have you observed something like that?
Some few parents come and they try to find out more about the protocols, especially with the what do you call, Veronica buckets, and so we have ours. Now our school is, a story, 3-story, and so now they are insisting we have the Veronica bucket on all floors, okay, so which we are providing, and so they are itching. Most of the time they come asking, so what about this, and then we have time to explain things to them. So some of them really have that anxiety, and very cautious, and they just want to know whether things are being done right in the school. So when they come, we give them.
Do you think parents should have 100% confidence in the teachers and heads that they will take care of their children very well?
Yes, because you see, the whole thing is stakeholding thing. Teachers, parents, children. We are coming together to run the whole program. So bringing your child to the school, we have that responsibility to make sure the right things are done. And don't forget, we are all parents too. And we were most hit. These are the things that is even making us very, very cautious. So that is why they have to put their trust in us. They will not do anything that will mar or that will even cause a break of these rules for somebody to be infected and then bring about a whole trouble to the school or nationwide lockdown. So schools, teachers, and staff are doing our best. So I can assure the parents, they must trust us.
So a parent who have decided not to send their child to school, you are now telling the parent that, please take your child to school because the school is safe.
Exactly, the school is very safe.
We are
in fact,
trusting you.
Seriously, because we are teachers, we know what is right, and we are insisting on doing what is right. We are rather looking at the parents taking good care of the children at home. That is where our side, the anxiety.
So your anxiety is rather on the parents
taking care of the children at home.
Not they coming to school for you to take
exactly.
care of. Okay, so
because we are there fully armed to make sure things are done properly. But we don't know what is happening at home. We got to some places, children are playing football here and there. Do you see? So our fear is how they manage the children at home.
At home, not you.
Not we. For
parents,
us,
you see, now the confusion is here. Teachers are saying they are ready to manage your children, but they are afraid of you in the home. Let's come to Doug. Doug, from your expert point of view, this is what the head. Let's take in general what we are hearing from the Hill. Do you have any advice to parents and the general public?
Yeah, so I think he said it right. In school, because of the work they do, they will be more vigilant. They will be keeping very close eye on these children. But at home, that is where sometimes, because you see, some of the parents may not have the time that a teacher is paid to look after, will have. So they will leave these children to do so many things. So it is important we try and advise them. I was happy when he said that the children know about the protocols. If they do, it's important. Even the children can correct a parent if he's not doing the right thing. Oh, please, we're told in school to be wearing our masks. We've been told in school to be washing our hands. So it's very, very, very important, because sometimes the parents, because of the work schedule, because of the activities and so many things that they do, they tend to forget some of these things. Because you mentioned earlier that we are in the new normal. These things were not there before. So you can easily forget. So if the children know this and they bring it home, they even will be correcting the parents who are going off. But the parents should also keep an eye on these children and make sure that these protocols are there. In the house, washing of hands will come in handy. It's very, very important. Yes, in the house, maybe there will be times that you'll be eating and doing something, so the nose masks will not be so prominent. But the washing of your hands, making sure that you clean your surfaces from time to time and doing that, those things are very important. Just keep the surroundings or your place very neat. Sanitize your areas and all that. That is important. It's more about personal hygiene and also keeping your surroundings clean.
There is this question I just want us to address. Also, some of the children also exchange masks. Do you see children exchanging masks?
No, because everybody has, and we are particular about that, that no sharing. In fact, that was the emphasis, that you don't share not even a pencil, not an eraser. So to that extent of exchanging masks, it's not. It's a no-no.
We have Dinah Sewa, who is saying that God bless you. Dinah, we also bless you for hearing us. Doug, we want to see. There are a lot that we couldn't have time. We wish that next week you can come home. Doug, it's a deal.
We are finished talking about.
Yeah, but there is this, that among all the protocols, among all the activities that spread, which of them really spread the disease faster, and we should be cautious of it?
It's been in crowded places.
Crowded places.
I mean, initially, gatherings, most of the gatherings, funerals, even churches were closed and all that. But when they opened, they made sure that for funerals, now every funeral program that we go, they write that we ensure that protocols are observed. If you go to churches, almost all the churches now, washing hand stations are there, making sure people they are now keeping to the protocols. And these are the areas where, you tend to be crowded. There are so many people. And also, we can talk about the fact that when you move, the virus moves.
Okay.
That is why they say lockdown. So when we have it spreading uncontrollably, then don't move, stay put, so that the virus will not move. This is how it spreads. So if you don't want to be getting yourself unnecessarily going for a need to do a test and all that, make sure that you stay put. Most of the time, if you don't have any business going anywhere, stay home.
Okay.
I mean, that is very important in these times. Visiting or friends going, it's not necessary for now. When these things die down, you can do those. But for now, try to be at home as much as you can. And that is one of the advice that we could.
Thank you so much. In fact, today I've enjoyed the discussion so much. And Dr. Bonnie, we are so grateful. Dr. Bonnie is a senior researcher from Nyunguchi Memorial Institute, University of Ghana. He is also a lecturer, and he specialized in virology. And so he's talking from the expert point of view. And our master is also a headmaster from Laboni SDA Church School. Yeah. It's both primary and JHS, is that right? Okay. And so he has also shared his point where they are assuring parents that indeed they are rather afraid of we parents in the house, knowing that some may not be able to take good care of their children. But when it comes to the school, they are well prepared to take care of our children. So feel free, take your child to school. Don't panic. But what you can do is to pray. They can put all their issues together, but with God, I think all things will be possible. This is where we will draw the curtains. My name is Mrs. Betty Adom. Until next week, we meet again on the same area. We are going to explore more into the COVID-19 so that we may know a lot. I want to say that stay safe. Love your family, love your life, love Mother Ghana, and love the world so we can together get rid of this disease. I love you, and we'll meet once again. Come next week. God bless you.